What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Footy with an Edge. United have finally won a game. We've won a game. Can you guys believe it? And that was the most stressful 3 points I've ever witnessed in my life because we're down in the dumps, man. I don't know if you guys realize this as a United fan. Maybe some of you are not United fans. It is so hard to follow this club right now because you don't know what you're going to get. We're sitting there watching Chelsea have one of their goalkeeper sent off in the 5th minute, and we're wondering how is this game gonna play out, right? Because obviously we need a win like a fish needs water. We need the 3 points, and I'm watching that game and I see good things happening, right? We're 11v10, and obviously I'm worried that we're gonna throw this away even with 11 men, and that we're not going to score enough goals, and then it's going to be um, a difficult night out yet again. But what happens? Bruno scores a goal in the 13th minute that's almost offside, and then Casemiro ends up scoring a goal that the ball's bouncing around a million times in the box, and they fail to clear it out, and we finally score. But what happens after that? Casemiro gets himself sent off, and it's almost like we should have expected it, because when's the last time you guys remember us having a comfortable 3-0 win when something unfortunate has happened to the other team? Because usually it's us on the other side of that. Usually it's United that has their keeper sent off, that leads to us having a very difficult game, and Amorim or somebody else ends up getting the sack because of it. So things went our way, and this was looking like the most promising game we've had in a while to build up a lot of narratives and positives for Amorim, but it ends up being a horrible shit show for us. And yeah, I really don't know what to say. I don't have much to say, and I feel like I need you guys to come on and help me understand why we can't get the positives we deserve, even in a game where everything goes our way. So let's get the first caller in. We have Rishi here making another appearance. Let me pull him into the channel. Hi Rishi, you're live on Footy with an Edge. I don't have much to say, mate. I'm gonna let you take over and walk us through exactly what just happened.
Hi, Andy. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go for it.
Okay, so I'm going to be completely honest with you, mate. I lost my shit at Casemiro when he got sent off,
Yeah.
and once that halftime whistle was blown, I just turned off my computer, and I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't take any more of it because I was sure we would mess it up. I was sure that we would probably draw 2-2 because Maresca had two more substitutions to go. He could have brought on two more attackers, sacrificed a
Mm-hmm.
center back. And yeah, it was nerve-wracking stuff. I mean, for the sake of your mental health, you have to do these things, make tough calls like turn off the TV once in a while because I don't know how, like it's a madcap game, dude. Come on. They call us box office for a reason because we find a way of coming up with games like this. It's just the amount of pressure and the amount of eyeballs that we have on this club. It ensures that we keep on having these kind of moments, and I'm just relieved that we came away with 3 points today because let's be honest, I think this was a gift from Maresca. Before the game, he said, I've been following Amorim for a long time since he was with Sporting, and he's a good coach. And, whenever a new coach joins a team that's in a difficult place, it can go either way. It can go well or it can go poorly. So I guess he was kind of hinting towards his own stint, which has gone well. And he was saying that Amorim is just unlucky to
Yeah.
have caught the flip side.
I think
And
I wanna emphasize something here, Rishi, for everybody that's watching. We need to appreciate the fact that Maresca really gave us a tap in, and we almost managed to screw it up because Maresca took off some of his best players off the pitch that could have hurt us on the counterattack. And if there's one thing that we know, I think this team could go up against Grimsby and play against 10 men and end up losing. right? That it's in us to make those mistakes in possession despite being one man up. But what does Maresca do? He takes off both his pacey wingers in the 6th and 7th minute. Then he takes off Cole Palmer in the 21st minute and basically gives us the easiest game we can ever play. We're playing against a back five. All we need to do is not give the ball up, and even if they win it back on the counterattack, they have no pace. How many times did we see Joao Pedro just take a few nice touches and beat the press against him and have nobody to hit because they didn't have a single pacey player to run in beyond him, and we almost still screwed it up. So Rishi, do you think this is a gift from God? I mean, this has to be an act of God, right? Because for everything that went our way, including Maresca screwing things up, we still barely won the game.
Yeah, dude, and so many things went our way. I'm kind of afraid that that's all the luck we're gonna get in this season.
Yeah. You think this is
I
the
think
last
it's all
game?
downhill
We
from
we
here.
used all of our lifelines in this one game.
Yeah, and you could see the tide turning too because Casemiro gets sent off, so you could see that okay, your vessel's full up to the brim. Now it's all going to
Yeah.
overflow into tears of sorrow.
Yeah, it was basically the football gods reminding us that we are still Manchester United. It was basically us getting a
Yeah.
message from the world that listen, you guys can still lose this, so you better tighten up and not get too carried away.
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
think we realize enough what a big move it was because I was stunned when I saw that he took off Estevao Willian and Neto and Cole Palmer. He took off
Yeah.
all the three players that were behind the striker. He took all three of them off and then he packed it with a midfielder. He obviously had to bring in a replacement goalie and then he threw on a third centre back.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. And if he had just held his nerve and he had
Yeah.
kept at least one of those, because I understand that you want to compensate with another midfielder or a defensive
Yeah.
player. And of course, you have to bring in your replacement goalie. But why did you take off the third attacking player? That's what makes no
It
sense to
makes
me,
no sense,
right?
dude. For me, the fact that he took Palmer off the pitch was a big mistake because he's your best decision maker on the ball. He's good at dribbling in tight spaces as well. He can win you fouls and buy some time for your team. He was the wrong player to take off, and I guess he decided between Palmer and Pedro and decided to take Palmer off. So Rishi, I'm gonna be brief with you today because it looks like we have a lot of viewers and perhaps a lot of people joining as well. Give us your man of the match quickly, and I'll send you to the waiting room and I'll pull you back in later.
Enzo Maresca, he's my man of the match.
Yeah, that's a good one. I honestly, I would tend to agree with you because I feel like he was playing us as if Sir Alex Ferguson was in the dugout and this was still 2008 Man United, right? He was playing scared shitless. And if there's one thing you need to know about this team, it's that we're the ones who are scared shitless, and we're the ones that probably deserve to lose this game, even one man up. Especially when we went one man down, we probably should have lost it, and we almost did. So Maresca, I
You
take
know
your
what,
point. Yeah,
Andy? You know what? Sam Allardyce was sitting next to Sir Alex in the
yeah,
stands today, and I don't think even Sam Allardyce would have gone so defensive.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. All right, Rishi, thanks for joining. I'm gonna move you to the waiting room. Please stay tuned.
All
And
right,
Rishi
yeah.
says our man of the match was Enzo Maresca. So get your thoughts in the comments below. All right. Cool. Let me read some of the chat here. Arpan Sen Gupta says, God's grace, pinball goal. He's talking about the Casemiro goal. Yassine says, thank God we won. We always get the wrong side of luck. So he agrees with my intro there. And he says Casemiro needed to be the sub after the first goal. Look, man, a 5-time Champions League winner, Brazil starter with all the experience that he has, he should know better than to get sent off. I don't think we can pin that one on Amorim, to be honest. It was a soft second yellow, but still, he should do better to not get sent off there. And Habil, I'm going to pull you in next, don't worry. And Rajat says it was a very nervy win, but we still got it done. Absolutely, we needed to get it done. Papa Fought says 120 heart rate again. Listen, man, I've never had a more stressful 45 minutes of watch along ever before. I feel like we've gone through some shit, right? Especially the 7-0 and all that, but the fact that we were 2-0 up and we let ourselves slip with that second red card, it was just a horrible watch. Composed View says man of the match is Delict for you. Absolutely. Delict was very strong. Cool. Let's get our next caller in. We have Habil waiting here. Habil, you're live on Footy with an Edge. Go on. Give us your thoughts on the game. How do you feel, first of all, getting the 3 points in?
3 points was important. Like I said, I expected 1 point, and we almost did get that second one. That second one was almost in it if it was not for the offside, so it was very close there. I mean, as soon as the Casemiro got the second yellow, I said that if anyone's getting if anyone from our team is getting a red card, it's Casemiro, and lo and behold, it happened. After he got that yellow card, I said we should have took him off. Ideally for Menu, because this was a perfect game for Menu Bruno. Because let's be honest, after Palmer came off, and apparently at halftime they said it's because he got injured. It wasn't through tactical change; it was an enforcement because he got injured basically. So after Palmer came off, there wasn't much creativity. There was pretty much only Enzo Fernandez, who, let's be honest, is a bit of a, he is physical, but he would not be able to get past Menu Bruno, in my opinion. That double pivot would do well. We could have bought on, I mean, it was good to see Cunha and Mount as well back.
Wait, so you're saying instead of Ugarte, he should have brought on Menu?
I mean, at least till half time, and then I would have actually. I was thinking sacrificing Sesko anyways for Ugarte, which obviously happened anyways. But for the next like 10-15 minutes, especially right before the red card, where it's very physical.
Sheshko would have been the one. Sheshko was the one who was taken off for Ugarte in the first place. So, are you saying that before Ugarte, Menu should have come on?
Yeah. Well, until halftime, yeah, and then anyway, I would have taken Sesko off for Ugarte anyways.
Yeah.
So it was one of those where Ugarte was going to come off.
Interesting. What do you guys think in the comments down below? Do you think Menu deserved to come over Ugarte into the team when we got the red card? Because I personally, I disagree a little bit because we were in desperate need of some defensive control, and Menu does not provide the defensive cover that Ugarte does, right? Yes, Ugarte is horrible on the ball, and we all know that. But I think the focus in the second half was definitely to sit back and absorb the pressure, which I also think was the right move by Amorim. So I'm not sure if I agree with your take there.
No, I mean, I would have bought on Menu early in the first half. I would have, not at half time. I would have bought him on the 30th minute.
So before the red card, you're saying?
Before the red card, yeah. Around after basically Palmer came off, I would have bought him on then, and then at halftime take off Sesko and move, Mbeumo as a striker basically. So then we have the double pivot as Menu, Ugarte, and then Bruno and Ahmad as the 10s like that. That's what I would have done.
Got it. So, okay. All right. Abil, give us your man of the match. I want to keep things rolling. I'll move you back to the waiting room. Give us your man of the match.
Yeah. I mean, Dele was good, Shaw was good, but Bruno was good. But for me, it has to be Dorgu. I think Dorgu was very underappreciated today. He looked exhausted at the end. The runs he was making defensively was decent as well.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good point. Dorgu deserves his shout out. I think he's been getting a lot of stick recently, and the fact that he has been, making things work. He got an assist today for the first goal. Is definitely very important. So appreciate you, Habil. I'm going to move you back to the waiting room, and we'll have you back a little bit later. Okay. Cool. Thanks, man. All right. We have our next caller on, but before we do that, I want to talk about Patrick Dorgu a little bit, right? And get your guys' reaction, because I know Arpan says in the chat that, he's very shocked that he's giving Dorgu the man of the match shout. But I think Dorgu is a very good example of things that are good and bad with the United team right now. And what I want you guys to pay attention to, right, is if you are watching that game, I'll tell you the positive things that he did really well. In the 3rd minute, there was an early ball into the box for Sheshko, exactly the kind of delivery that we've been asking for. He keeps going to the byline and trying to put the ball across the box on the floor, but we've been asking for that early ball. And in the very first, second, third minute of the game, he put in a really good cross that was cleared by a Chelsea defender. But that's what we were looking for. And in the 23rd minute, obviously, he registered an assist with the header for Bruno. And in the 33rd minute, I think he made a mistake where let me look at my notes here. In the 32nd minute, he had an opportunity to play an early cross for Šeško, similar to what he played in the 3rd minute, but he doesn't play it, and then he takes an extra touch, and basically the defender wins the ball back. It goes for throw-in. So he definitely had a game of two halves in this game where his athleticism was good. He definitely has the ability to play the right pass, but his decision making is questionable, right? So I get it. People don't really like Dorgu right now, but I think he needs to play, get more game time under his belt and improve on that, because the profile of player that he is for the left wing back role is perfect for us, right? So we really need Dorgu to start playing better, and I think we need to support him in doing that. I think more of the good stuff from this game needs to be seen and less of the bad stuff. But I think he can get it. He can get it done at some point. Cool. Let's get our next caller in. I think this is a previous caller. Let me see here. Hey, you're live on Footy with an Edge. Is this Shaunuk? Hey, I can't hear you. If you're trying to say anything, I think it is Shaunuk. He was with us on last week's call-in, I think. We'll give him a minute to get his technical stuff sorted out. Let me read the comments till then. Delict was man of the match. Lots of people saying Delict was man of the match. And people are talking about Dorgu's negatives. Obviously, like I said, he did have a lot of things that didn't go for him. And okay, I think we have if you guys want to join Discord, by the way, we had some technical issues with Shaunuk, so he's going to come back. If you want to join Discord, I can get you in on the call-in show right now. Let's get your thoughts in. I see Colin typing some stuff here. He's saying, yes, I agree. He had a bad second half, improved the bad stuff quickly. So he agrees with what I said about Dorgu. Sai Promote says, chat, what do you think about Šeško's game? That one touch off Maz's ball. I think this is also an underrated take. He had only 8 takes, and all the rival fans will be talking about 0-0-5 and all that nonsense. I think Šeško had a great game today. He did a lot of the stuff that we want him to do off the ball really well. And let's not forget, even Erling Haaland has 10 touches a game. So, how much more are you really expecting from Šeško when the team isn't really playing to his strengths so far? Okay, looks like we have Anoop and Shaunuk both waiting in the chat. So I'm going to bring in Shaunuk again, and Anoop, I'll bring you in next. Hey, Shaunuk, how you doing? Looks like he's still having some video issues. I'm going to give you a second in the waiting room. I'll just pull you in after Anoop, okay, if you want to just wait there. All right, let's get Anoop into the channel. Anoop, you're live on Footy with an Edge. How you doing? How are you feeling after this win? Are you excited for the 3 points? Are you sad about the negatives that we saw? How are you feeling? If you're calling in from your phone, maybe you need to turn off the YouTube app. I think that's an issue that other people have faced in the past.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I happened to watch the game, and yeah, it was a great victory. I enjoyed it, really.
Yeah.
The defensive solidity is nice, apart from one mistake that Lenny made, for which he should have jumped for that header to get the header.
Mm-hmm.
We were really solid for the most of the game. It goes without saying what stupidity from Casemiro, seriously. I can't believe, seriously, he's a senior player. I don't know why we have these brain fart moments time and often in this team. And it mostly comes from the senior players, and we need to cut these things. The manager had a really good plan. We started on the front foot. We got the red card. and I expected the moment we went 2-0 up, I thought maybe we will be okay. We'll cruise to victory. Maybe we manage the game. Since we were close to halftime, I thought we just manage the game from here on. Come back in the second half, bring Punya on, bring Mount on, and then you win the game 3-0, maybe 4-0. But no, we always make it hard on ourselves, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We you know, I said at the intro, I don't know if you caught the start of the video, but even when the god has, you know, the football gods have delivered every single positive we could have asked for, the other goalkeeper gets sent off. Maresca makes a bunch of crap decisions to take off his best players and goes in a very defensive shell. Even then, we find a way to screw it up because let's not forget, before Casemiro got sent off, Bruno had the option to play Ahmad in for what would have been a third goal, but he played the ball to Šeško instead.
Exactly.
If you remember that in the 43rd minute.
Yeah.
So we could have been
Yeah,
3-0
I do.
up. We could have been 3-0 up at halftime, going into the break with still 11 men up, and had a chance to make this 5, 6, 7 goals. And what positives would have come from that type of result for us, right? Because first of all, Chelsea is considered to be a top 4 club, right? And regardless of the red card or not, it's a 90-minute game, 11v11. We didn't, you know, no United fan or player or manager made Robert Sanchez make that poor decision, right? And Mbeumo was clear through on goal, and we deserve to win this game. But then Casemiro makes what can only be known as like a stupid decision, right? Something that you might see on the streets of a favela somewhere where somebody just makes a stupid mistake, but not from a 5-time Champions League winner that has played in the biggest games for Brazil and the biggest games for Madrid and even big games for us. And he makes the stupid mistake. And I just couldn't believe what I was watching. It was the most stressful second half that led to a win that I've ever seen.
I genuinely thought after the red card we are going to lose this game 3-2. This is what I even tweeted it out on one of the posts that listen, everyone will blame Amorim after this because we might end up losing 3-2 because of Casemiro's stupidity.
Yeah.
I mean, why? What was the need? The guy was going nowhere with the ball. At the max, he would have progressed it another 10 yards forward, and you have 3 defenders ahead of him with one man to pass to. And I have no idea what.
Yeah. And it was Andre Santos. Like, it's not even like prime Messi that you're tackling to the ground that you're worried he's going to beat another 4 players. If he was taking that red card for prime Messi or prime Ronaldo, I'll hold my hand up and say, okay, fine. You know, like he was worried about something happening. But in the game situation that we're in, even if they score 1 goal and we're 11 men up, I think we have a good chance to win that game. Yeah, but he makes the decision to take him down for whatever reason, and it was a soft yellow card, right? I mean, for what it's worth, it was a very soft yellow. Yeah, but you're putting yourself in that position to let the ref make that decision, and that's the problem that I have. It's why are you making decisions like that to put us in jeopardy, right? And he did that. So I don't really know what to say, but hey, let's talk about the positives, Anoop. Tell me who your man of the match is. Tell me what you're excited about from this game.
I think the man of the match was Bruno, I believe. This is what I believe because he took the game. I played forward passes, got into the box, scored.
Yeah.
The second one was Dorgu. He had a really good game. I know there were some problems in the final third, which is very normal, but he had a really good game, and Delit was the standout performer. Really.
Yeah.
It was class.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much hopes for him when we signed him, but he's come a long way. Especially
you're talking about Delit?
Delit, yes, Delit.
Oh, you didn't have hopes for him when he first joined. Interesting. Yeah, but I think
I didn't because he was either injured or some bad form at Munich, and for some reason I didn't really rate him much. But he's changing my mind very quickly. It's how he plays.
Yeah, I think the thing about De Ligt is, if you ask me, if we were to sell Bruno, right, in the summer or next summer or whenever we eventually sell Bruno, I think De Ligt is probably the natural captain material that you see, right, in terms of his leadership ability. And he's been putting it, I think, you know, I don't think this is a hot take to say that he's been easily our most consistent performer this season, right? I think, you know, get in the comments, get in the live chat. You let us know who you think our player of the season so far has been, because I think it's easily De Ligt. And I think that's a good take. So, anyways, Anoop, appreciate your shout outs there, and I think you're definitely right. Dorgu did have good aspects to his game. Any last thoughts before I bring someone else into the call?
No, now just keep the momentum going. That's all it is. We play Brentford, we play Sunderland, and maybe we play Liverpool after these our next 3 games. Just go into
Yes,
the
yeah,
Liverpool game winning three out of 3. That's it. That's all I care.
yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't matter. Win ugly. If you learn to win ugly, then the goals will come from the other end. You just need to
yeah.
keep your head, keep calm, and manage the game. That's it. It's very simple. You don't need to do anything
Absolutely.
stupid like what Casemiro did today. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the good thing is Casemiro's probably going to miss the next game because of the second yellow. So I guess we have to go into Brentford playing with Ugarte and Bruno in the team, but we'll figure it out. I think I agree with you overall. Let's not do anything stupid, and let's win 3 in a row. All right. Thank you, Anoop, for your shout out. I might bring you in later into the call if you want to wait around in the waiting room.
No
but
problem.
Appreciate your thoughts. See ya. All right, we have Andy from South Africa joining us next. Let me just check the chat really quickly. Rajat says, "Lucky that Garnacho wasn't brought on, or else he would have gotten booed." I mean, lucky for him, I guess. I mean, I would have loved to sat here and boo his ass because, screw Garnacho. And Ihor Gosha says, "Casemiro with all his traits is the best destroyer we have at the moment." No, I agree with you. I think he is. He's one of our best actually the best midfielder in the system. But the problem with Casemiro is he does dumb shit like this all the time, right? Like, you can't say it was really the ref's fault, because why did you put yourself in that position? Like, Andre Santos was going nowhere. And Arpan says Delict is good. All right, let's get Andy into the show. Andy, how are you? You're live on Footy with an Edge. Go on, give us your thoughts. Who was your man of the match, and what are you excited about in that game? I think you're on mute, by the way. You need to unmute yourself. Hey, I think you have unmuted, but you're not saying anything. Hey Andy, how are you doing? Andy, looks like we're having more technical issues, but you guys need to get in the thoughts with your comments. I see a lot of people that are online. I see Assad, Den, Anton. Come join the waiting room. Okay, looks like Andy's having some technical difficulties. Andy, if you have some other apps on your phone, maybe you need to turn them off and just have your Discord on. I think that might help. But I'm gonna move you to the waiting room again and give somebody else a chance till you figure this out. Okay, we have a Chelsea fan who's actually in the waiting room, who's contributed to the live call-in shows before. Let's get him in here. Nonstop, how are you doing? Give us your thoughts as a Chelsea fan on that game. Tell us what you saw, and how upset are you at Maresca right now? Hello? Yeah, Spliss Killer. Let's get him in.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I am well, man. How are you feeling after that game as a Chelsea fan?
A bit gutted, but it's something which somehow I expect from United whenever we face them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you said it in the last show that you're expecting Chelsea to lose, and almost like I didn't agree. I thought we were going to lose 2-1, but somehow we won this game. And obviously, Sanchez makes a bad mistake that gets him sent off. But I think the real the person who gets the most blame from my perspective is Enzo Maresca. What do you think about that?
Actually, first of all, I did not see like the first 10 minutes of the game because I was coming back from work. So like the first 10 minutes of I didn't see, but I saw from the live score that there was already a red card. So, like as I predicted, United will start on the front foot very high. If you remember, I said that in the
Yes, you called it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what happened, and that led to the red card.
Yeah,
You guys must have been
let me walk you through exactly what happened, right? Chelsea were pressing United high up, and our goalkeeper Binder, he took a long kick up the pitch, and Sheshko won the first header, and Mbumo ran in behind, and he was clear through on goal, but Sanchez rushed out of his goal and basically cleared him out. And so Sanchez was sent off for denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
Of course, yeah, makes sense for it to be a red card, of course.
Yeah,
but in the end, I think that was a very defensive setup which he went with Maresca. I think the idea he wanted to set up like a 5-3-1 where Cucurella and James acts as width. But in the end, those guys do not have the speed to like attack in behind. But at the same time, I think he wanted to like bait the United press, so that they can have less people in the midfield. So that, as you could see, like there were 3 people there at the beginning. It was Palmer, Enzo, and Caicedo. Later on, it was Santos, right? So it was like a bait. That is what I think he was trying to do, putting those 3 centre backs to bait Sesko and the rest.
The problem is the problem is though nonstop is that he didn't have any outlet on the wings, right? Like you need some pace on the counterattack to run in behind the other team, and United are more scared like than a young adult on Halloween. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like our feet seem to be shaking every time we have the ball because we are scared that we're going to throw away another game even when we have the other team's goalkeeper sent off, right? So in that situation, Maresca has to be brave and he has to keep at least one player on the pitch that can run in behind.
If I had to suggest, maybe Maresca should have only done just one substitution. Maybe the Estevao substitution makes sense, and bringing in so that like maybe Cucurella could have tucked in with one of the centre backs, and then one fullback provides width and Neto provides width on the other side. That would have made so much sense. But putting both of them out just killed the game for us. To be honest,
I think there was no chance for you guys to win it after he made those changes, and that's the disappointing part. I think we had Shoyo waiting in the chat, so I want to make sure that he also gets his shout out.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
I think Shaw played well than most people think he played, so you should be giving him some applause as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think Shaw is one of those players that represents almost everything that's wrong with our club, right? Because he's been here for such a long time. He's been very injury prone. And when he's good on his day, he's good. But, many days he's also bad. Like, let's not forget he played that 7-0 loss against Liverpool as well. But I agree with you today. The whole back line was very solid. We had very assured on the ball. And when we had to make the right decisions, we made the right decisions. And he also got involved in the goal that Casemiro scored, right? So good shout out, man. Thank you so much for joining. I'll move you into the waiting room, and if we have some time later, I'll put you back in. Cool. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, so that's Nonstop as a Chelsea fan giving his thoughts, giving his flowers to Luke Shaw, which, again, I can't disagree with him. Defensively and on the ball, he looked pretty assured today. Didn't really make mistakes that we're expecting from him. So I appreciate what he did. Cool. We have a new first-time caller on the show. Let's get Shoyo into the chat. Shoyo, you're live on Footy with an S. Go on. Tell us where you're calling from and what you thought about the game.
I'm calling from Chandigarh, India.
Okay.
I don't know what to say about this game. It was a kind of shaky game, after the red card, it was kind of Chelsea were on the front foot, and maybe Amorim, the subs he made, like Ugarte and the defensive sub that he like. I
Mhm.
don't know why he always makes that defensive subs, always changes his, like they are all they will be crossing the ball like Madurai and Maguire. They were
Yeah.
playing good, but still he made those sub on
Wait,
Euro
are
and
you talking about Ugarte coming on? Because Ugarte came on after the red
yeah,
card, right?
yeah. After the halftime and then this defensive sub he made after the around 60-70 minutes,
Yeah.
and we instantly they scored when he made that sub. So I was
Yeah.
kind of disappointed with Amorim.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about when Maguire went off the pitch.
Yes,
Yeah, because 65th minute he took Mazraoui off, and he brought on
and next
Cunha, and then the 70th minute he took off Maguire to bring on Lenny Oro. So you think that was the wrong sub to make because we lost the header for the goal? Yeah, that's a good point. Maguire gives you a lot of defensive solidity, and at the moment they scored, we obviously didn't have Maguire in the box, and that was you could say a mistake from Amorim. But go on. Who's your man of the match for this game?
it's between Delete or Madrawi. They were playing really good. I would say Madrawi because he helps us score the first goal. First goal
Yeah.
came from his cross. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say Madrawi would be my man of the match.
Got it. Got it. I mean, that's a fair shout. I think we had, at least defensively, a lot of really good games from a lot of players. Across the back line, I think Shaw, Maguire, and Delict played really well. And I think Dorgu had a good game as well. And obviously, Bruno, according to FOPMob, is the man of the match. Who do you think had the worst game?
Obviously, Casemiro. He shouldn't
Other
have
than
got the
Casemiro.
second.
Give us somebody other
Uh,
than Casemiro.
I would say Ahmad. He was not making the right decision in the final third.
Yeah.
In one of the situation where he could have squared the ball to that Sesko, but he crossed the ball to Mbeumo. That was a very
Mhm.
bad decision by him.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you. I think decision making has been consistently a big problem for us, and I think it's some of the biggest players, the biggest culprits in our team are Amad Diallo, Patrick Dorgu, even Mazraoui has been making the wrong pass or the wrong run. He's still learning how to play at the wingback role with Mbumo. And obviously, we know Bruno sometimes makes the wrong decision, like in the 43rd minute when he could have played Ahmad in behind for the goal for 3-0, but he played Sheshko instead.
Yes,
So yeah, I
that
think
one.
interesting points. Yeah.
Yep, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of the systematic issue
Mhm.
because I don't know why defenders are taking most touches in the opposition box. We should
It's
rather.
actually it's actually because the right center back and the left center back in this system are actually playing as fullbacks when we attack. Like Amorim's system is a very very attacking system. So not only do we have 5 attackers with the 2 wingbacks pushing up, but when we need extra support, we have the left center back and the right center back coming up. That's why you've seen Delict have a lot of crosses in this game, and get more on the ball, and that's something maybe we need to figure out in the future, but it's because that's the way the system plays. It's a very attacking system. But anyway,
It's
Shoyo,
very attacking, but
yeah, go for it.
I was saying that it's a very attacking, but still, defenders shouldn't have the most touches in the opposition box. Your
Yeah,
attackers should be having that because they are the better in attacking phases, so they will make the better attacking decision in the final third rather than
yeah,
defenders.
yeah. No, that's a good point. Well, Shoyo, thank you so much for getting your thoughts in. I'm going to move you back to the waiting room and get somebody else in. But it's Shoyo from Chandigarh, guys, and give us your name. You prefer
My
Shoyo
name is
or
Yugam.
Yugo?
Show is Yugam.
Yugam. Okay, thank you so much, Yugam. Really appreciate your thoughts, and we'll get the next caller in.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. That was Shoyo from Chandigarh calling in. We'll get our next caller in, first time caller in Anton here. And don't worry, Spliz and Shaunak, I'm gonna get you guys in very soon. Just stay a little patient. We'll get some first time callers in. A lot of people calling for Delict to be man of the match. Hey Anton, you're live on Footy with an Edge. Tell Tell us where you're
Yeah,
calling from and introduce yourself. Hey, Anton.
Hey, this is Sai. I'm calling in from Bay Area, California.
Hey, Sai, how you doing? First time caller on the channel. Go on, tell us. How do you feel after that game?
To be honest, I feel super relieved just to get the 3 points first in. But our players never make it easy for us, do they? So it was such a great watch the first half, just to watch them put Chelsea on chokehold, not giving them the ball, just keep it within their half for most of the game, and then Casemiro had to do his rubbish. Yeah, but we spoke about that enough, anyways. But just super relieved and happy that we got the 3 points.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a great point. I think that's not being talked about enough, because we desperately needed these 3 points, right? Like let's take a quick look at the table. Fulham are winning 2-1 against Brentford, by the way, and after 5 games, we are in 10th position, right? That's already a five positions improved from last season. But on 7 points, we desperately needed those 3 points. I don't care how it came. I think before the game, if you told us that, 2 of their players are going to get sent off and we're still going to get a scrappy 2-1 win, I would have taken that, right? So we needed this by hook or by crook. And more importantly, something that I want to bring up is it's good for us that Amorim actually didn't change his system and then we got the win. Because if he had gone to a back four or he had stopped playing Bruno in the midfield, I think all of the pundits and everybody would have just come out here and said, "I told you so," right? Yeah, all the haters would have gotten more fuel to the fire, and they would have said, "This is exactly what we wanted. See, I told you we should have gone to a back four." So it's good that we won the game, and we won the game the way Amorim wanted to play.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And even with Bruno playing as the 8, even if that might not be the most ideal thing to do. So I was a bit skeptical when I saw the lineups. I was really hoping Bruno would play as the 10 and he would start Mainu there. But having done that, just like we predicted right from our previous call on your channel, if you just put enough pressure on their backline would crumble, and that's exactly what happened. I think Sesko played a major role overall too. People are not noticing that. That header was important, and
Absolutely.
he was amazing this season and overall, right? He's just a top player. You can see that he brings that Premier League experience with him. Like Ahmad couldn't have done that. Like I'm pretty sure. So he's making that difference, and I hope Cunha and Mbumo start more games together. That would really push us forward, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I let me just hit on Šeško for a second. I said this towards the start of the call. I think Šeško has so much more to provide us in this team once we get that chemistry going, right? Because so much of the media noise and so much of the players and everything, all the noise around United is about, oh, Šeško has had 5 games and we haven't, he hasn't done anything. Amorim's had 50 games in charge and we haven't done anything yet. But what people are not realizing is that our focal point in this team has finally shifted from Bruno Fernandes to someone like Mbumo on the right wing. If you notice, Mbumo controls the ball a lot more. A lot of the play now funnels through Mbumo. He's the one making those flicks. He played this flick for Mazraoui to make the overlap with his back heel. If you guys watched that, right? That was amazing. And he's doing a lot of these things that are really making the club tick. And when that's the case, the whole way we play changes, and this is a new system as well. So we need to give time for Šeško and Mbumo to click together, for Mbumo and Mazraoui to click together. But people just don't seem to see that because there's so much noise and so much negativity around the club.
Yeah, having said all that, eventually we needed Bruno only to score for us. But I see your point.
Yeah, but Mbumo, like if you look at his stats today, right? Mbumo was taken off in the 69th minute, and according to FOTMob, he had a 6.4 rating. But the things that he did well, right? Let me just point this out for you guys. he got Sanchez sent off, which again, if Sanchez doesn't get sent off, is there a guarantee we win this game? Absolutely not.
No.
Right?
Yes.
And then after that, in the 9th minute, he put a cross in that De Ligt almost got on the edge of, and then Jorgensen, who just came on the pitch, tried to punch the ball away, and he almost missed. Right? If he takes out De Ligt there, it's a second goalkeeper that's getting sent off in the first 10 minutes. And then 33rd minute, he plays a pass to Ahmad. He played a reverse pass when Ahmad made a run onto his side. And that was just amazing vision. That's only something that Bruno used to do in our team, but now we have another player doing that. And in the 34th minute, he played that back heel pass to Mazraoui on the break. So, we need to give Mbeumo his flowers. He's not Lionel Messi, and he's not the reincarnation of Salah yet, but at least he's doing the simple things right.
Yes, absolutely. He's been our best attacking player, I guess, this season.
Yeah.
Just consistency wise, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So did you give us your man of the match yet? Who do you think our man of the match was?
My man of the match, I think it will be De Ligt. Not just because of his defensive actions, we spoke about that enough, but if you observed, I think you brought about this interesting point to right. If you see, in the second or third balls, whenever he was getting it, he was just putting in that cross, right? When we had 4 or 5 players in the box. That was important, I think, to create more chances. Just I wanted to point that out too. And his defensively also, he was solid, at right center back, at even in the middle of the back three, right? In the center of the back three. After Maguire went off, you could see that he was just keeping Pedro, everyone quiet when they were trying to put in those balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't understand why Amorim does this weird centre-back substitution every match. Either Euro or Maguire has to go out. I think if Maguire was there, definitely he would have won that header over Chalobah. He's known for that, right?
Yeah, I think what he was trying to do is inject some more energy into the team, and obviously when you're playing with 3 center backs, it's a big area of your pitch, right? Normally when you play with a back 4, the substitutions generally come with the fullbacks because they're going up and down, or the midfielders because they're going up and down. In this system, you actually have the right and the left center back doing a lot of work. And once we went down to 10 men, even the middle center back had to do a lot of work, right? And let's not forget, Maguire is he 30, 32 now? So maybe he just thought, we need some fresh legs into the team. And to be honest, that was a great cross from Reece James, right? I don't think we can take away from what Chelsea was doing. They had 75, 78% possession. So if you can't expect them to score a goal with that, then, what have they spent $1 billion for, right? But anyways, go for it. Give us your closing thoughts.
Yeah, his closing thoughts. I think Reece James was really good. He was their main attacking threat. Every ball he put into the box, I was just so nervous. Bayender somehow, got one of the chances, just freakily cleared the ball out. But just really super relieved to get those 3 points. And like you said, get those 3 points the right way with Bruno in the double pivot and playing the 3-4-3 system. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And just last thing I'll say before you go, if we had Reece James or Malo Gusto in our team instead of Mazraoui and Dalot, we would be infinitely better, because we are crying out for somebody to put in that bending cross from the right-hand side for Šeško. Because if look at it this way, if Šeško was in their team today instead of Joao Pedro as the striker, they would have been much better. We would have been in big trouble because he had another target man in the box to hit. And if we had Gusto or James in our team, we would have been so much better. So I think we need to figure out this profile, and maybe in the winter window, buy somebody that can actually put in some crosses from the right side.
Yeah, at least one of the 2 wing backs should be able to put in a threatening ball every now and then, right? I think Dorgu did that well in the first 15-20 minutes. But yeah, that's a really good point you make there. Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, Sai, thank you so much for joining in. First-time caller, guys. Again, Discord link is pinned in the chat. Please come get your thoughts. Sai's calling us from the Bay Area, and Anoop called us as well from the Bay Area earlier. Nice to hear from you, Sai. Hope you can come back.
See you, man. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right. Now we have Shaunuk waiting for a long time. Hopefully he's figured out his audio. Shaunak, you're live on Footy with an Edge. Go on, give us your thoughts on the game.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, finally. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was having some weird technical issues.
All good.
Yeah, I mean, think, uh, yeah, I mean, I think everyone has said like very relieved to get the 3 points. I think very weird game, very scrappy game. I think Chelsea had what like 5 yellow cards, I think, and a very scrappy game,
Yeah, I think,
scoring.
yes, 5 yellow cards. You're right.
Yeah, yeah, and very happy with the win. The first half was, I think we needed that luck that we lacked that in the Arsenal game. I think throughout the season, I think the Burnley game we should have, I think, put at least three
We
in
should
the
have
first
been 3
half.
0
But
up. We should have been 3 0 up. And
yeah,
in this game, too, we should have been 3 0 up if Bruno played the right pass. But we didn't.
yep, yep, yep. I think, yeah, I mean, I think this sort of decision making in which, like, when you quickly release the runner, like, you have to get it on the like first touch release, something like that. I think we are missing that sort of release. But I think it'll come with because we are playing sort of the attacking three is like it's like different in every game, because like Ahmad is not used to playing in the left 10. So yeah, I mean, I was impressed by Shesko as well. He had 45 minutes, but that flick on for the red card, that is an assist in my mind.
Yeah.
And that he had a touch, I think, to Bruno, who tried to play it back to Shesko to get it like through on goal.
Yep,
But
that
I
was in the
think the right,
43rd minute. Yeah, he should have played it to
yep,
Ahmad. Bruno should have played it to Ahmad.
yep. That was the closing. That should have been 3-0 right there. And I
Yeah.
don't know, this team just makes it so hard for itself, and like the fans watching as well. Like, I don't know, they just don't understand, like, you can win a game by just cruising like throughout the 90 minutes. Like, obviously you have to manage the game, but like still, yeah.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I think I was talking about this before I came on live with somebody, and they mentioned that in terms of decision making is a problem throughout our team, right? And
Yep.
and Dorgu was mentioned as, Dorgu and Ahmad were mentioned as the two worst decision makers in our team, which I agree with. But if you standardize that thought process for expectations, right? Like who you're expecting to make good decisions and they still make bad decisions, the top of the list would actually be Bruno. Because so many times, like he does the spectacular, and he can definitely get us over the line in games where nobody else is doing anything. And obviously we're eternally grateful for Bruno, because had he not been in this team, where would we be? Right? I have no idea. But that pass that he misses to Ahmad, and he plays it to Sheshko instead. Ahmad could not have been more open through on goal. Like, that was a tap in if there was ever a tap in. And if he makes that pass, we're 3-0 up. Who knows? Maybe Casemiro is like, hey, maybe I don't need to make that tackle because we're 3-0 up, right?
Yeah.
And it would have just been so much less pressure on this team. But it just feels like we make bad decisions, and even when we have easy chances to go through on goal, like I think even Dorgu had one where, what is it, the 32nd minute, we had a clear counterattack from Chelsea's corner, and he had to play a simple ball to Ahmad to get in behind, and he plays it short, and they cut the ball off, right? So big problems with decision making, and I think Bruno also has to hold his hand up as captain and say, I made mistakes.
I would also like to add, I mean, I think that pass to Shesko, I think he was trying to get Shesko on goal, maybe to get his first goal or something like that. But at that moment, it is better to like get the 3-0 lead and, just secure the 3 points in the first half, and sort of game management in that sense. But yeah, I mean, second half, I think we just sat back, 2-0 lead. We were the game state was favoring us. So yeah, I mean, also I think many people have mentioned this. Reece James was like fantastic down the right hand side. The
Yeah.
crosses that he was putting in they were like so threatening. Like it was just so flat, so fast, and it was just whipped across, like
Yeah,
amazing.
the
I think
curve
if we,
that he gets on the
yeah,
balls, alongside the weight of the pass, is always perfect. And what I can't
yep,
seem to understand is Bruno can't put those crosses in. I mean, for all the technical talent he has, he seems to always miss his cross. How many crosses did he put in today that were just either hitting the first man or going too far beyond the last man? But Reece James just has this quality that, you know, it's almost De Bruyne, Trent Alexander-Arnold esque, right? And had his career not been hampered by injuries, I think he would be the best right back in the world right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would also say that in terms of in the second half, I think it did feel like we were maybe dropping off a bit too much, like giving them a bit too much space. I mean, I know we had like a 2-0 lead, but I think I would have liked us to, compress the space a bit more, but like, we won the game at the end, but like it was a bit very, very
No, it
close.
was nervy. It was nervy, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, Shauna, you raise a really good point, and I'm actually going to tell you why Amorim did it and why it was the right decision, right? In the first half, we're obviously playing 11 versus 10 for after the 5th minute, right? And in the first half, our possession stats were still 58% only. So even with 11 men, and Chelsea being so deep and playing a back five, like a 5-3-1 shape, we were still only having 60% of the ball, or less than 60%. In the second half, when it became even, Chelsea had 72% of the ball, right? So, you could argue that 10 versus 10, we actually lost the game 1-0. And the reason why Amorim played it like that is because he had to get Ugarte in the midfield. And he is horrible on the ball. We know he has no composure. He can only play a 5-yard pass. And even that sometimes he gets wrong. So in that situation, if we tried to build up possession and keep the ball and move forward, we would have probably conceded 2 goals on the counterattack very easily, even against slow players, even against a Chelsea team that shot themselves in the foot, right? So I actually think the biggest credit I can give Amorim today is, first of all, he did everything right. He put the pressure. We spoke about this in the last watch along, Shaunuk, that the only way we're winning this is putting pressure on Chelsea in the first 20 minutes. And we did that, and we got the red card, and we got the goal. After that, in the second half, when we were down to 10 men, it was very important for us to play on the counterattack. I called this out after the Man City game as well, and I said this even in the call-in show we did last time. It was very important for us to play on the counterattack, and we did that, and we secured the win, right? So I think for those reasons, I think it was the right thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Shaunuk, give us your man of the match, and I'll have you waiting in the waiting room and get you guys in again like we did last time. Give us your man of the match.
Yeah, I mean, De Ligt, I think he had a goal line clearance. I don't know if it was goal line, but I think he performed well. He tracked his man into Chelsea's half very well. So yeah, I think De Ligt.
Yeah, absolutely. I would tend to agree with you. I think De Ligt is not only having good performances, but he's showing that leadership mentality, that never say die attitude that we don't see from enough players. And I'm very glad that he's in our team in a sea full of turds. He's one of the only hopes. So that's good to see.
Yep.
All right, cool. Shaunuk, thanks for your thoughts. I'll have you in the waiting room, and I'll maybe pull you in later. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Cool. All right, let's get Spliz Killer onto the show. Hey, you're live on Footy with an Edge. I think you need to unmute yourself. How you doing, Brian? I think it's Brian, right? Looks like you're on your phone. Maybe if you have the show on as well, you're gonna have some issues. So let me just give everybody a reminder, please. Yeah, please make sure you guys turn off all other apps when you're joining with your phone on Discord. Brian, looks like you're having some technical issues, so I'm gonna pull in a couple of. Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I really started to panic to the end of the game, but thankfully I didn't have an heartache. Thankfully.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be very honest with everybody that's watching as well. I was so stressed throughout that game, and I kept asking myself in every 5 minutes, like, why am I stressed? I'm not playing this game, right? I know I'm watching and I need to analyze the game for later for you guys, but I was stressed for no reason, and it's because this club does funny things to me, right? And I'm sure you're in the same boat.
Right.
Yeah.
Eerie times.
What like who do we have to pay to give us a comfortable 3-0 win, right? I don't understand. I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will have a better chance spending 50 million euros to bribe the other team for us to win the game than to buy a new player that can fix our midfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I watched Brighton today, and Belieber looked off it a bit, and he alone couldn't control the midfield. Tottenham was
Yeah.
running off him really bad.
Yeah. What's the other results? Let's take a look here. I want to take a quick look at the matches that are going on. So Fulham's beating Brentford 2-1 at halftime. So good for them. And then we have Leeds beat Wolves 3-1. Crystal Palace beat West Ham 2-1. Burnley and Forest drew. Brighton and Tottenham drew as well. So some good results in our favor, right? Because
Right.
I think Burnley and Forest having a draw. I think Forest were above us and by far the much better team last year. And obviously they've sacked their manager and all that. And Brentford Fulham also, if that ends in a draw, it's going to be a good result for us. So go on, Brian. Give us your man of the match for today.
All right, so my man of the match would be Matthias de Ligt. It might be a bit too common, but I mean, there are the things that I see from de Ligt that I would want from Euro in the right centre back role. I saw de Ligt stepping up into midfield and pressing their players. I saw de Ligt stepping up into the attacking line. Sometimes he plays at the wing back, swapping with Mazraoui, and he was delivering crosses. Not as effective as we'd want him to be, but I can see what he's trying to do. And that encouraged me a lot. And he played very strongly in the defensive line. For someone so big, he's quite pacey, so he doesn't really let attackers go off him. But I really enjoyed Dilik's game. He made me feel comfortable when he had the ball, because I was like, all right, it's Dilik.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think for what it's worth, I think one person said this earlier. In fact, it was the Chelsea fan, Nonstop, who came on and said this earlier, that Luke Shaw also deserves his flowers today because he didn't make any defensive mistakes. He was assured on the ball. He didn't panic, and we had to do a lot of last ditch stuff, right? I think the caller before you, Shawnuk, he mentioned that De Ligt, had a goal line clearance, and I think I know what he's talking about. There was a cross that he kicked away right in front of Bayern that Chelsea players were getting on the end of. Yeah, and that was a really important clearance, right? And he had 9 defensive contributions, which if I take a look here, Shaw had 8 defensive contributions. Maguire only had 3, but he was playing through the middle. So yeah, I think De Ligt being the man of the match is not a bad take at all. I think he did some great stuff. Go ahead.
Wouldn't you say that Shaw and De Ligt having that high of a contribution was mostly because they stepped up into midfield a lot?
Yeah, they have to, right? That's what this system requires them to do. It's this, you see this diamond shape between Shaw, Dorgu, Ahmad, and Fernandez. The idea is that they need to be able to make triangles from any 3 of those 4 players. So if whether we're on the ball or we are not on the ball, Shaw is very important in the build-up, right? Like, I can't explain how attacking Amorim's system is. He's almost at some points playing with 8 or 9 attackers, right? Because really the center back is the only person that's sitting back. Everybody else is getting involved in the ball. So that's why having Shaw as the left center back is useful for us, because he is actually, he's a left back converted into a left center back, right? So he's more technically sound, and you could say you could see what Amorim's trying to do. I don't think his first choice right center back is De Ligt. His first choice right center back is Euro, because Euro also has the pace and he has better technicality, but his decision making and learning of when he needs to step up and when he needs to step back is still a little poor.
True. I realize they start different when De Ligt is playing there. Even in that game, the Man City game where Euro was taken off and De Ligt moved over to that side, he was definitely more aggressive on the Man City players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what people need to realize is that in this team we have a bunch of players that are good at one or two things and then bad at one or two things. And that's the problem with this team. Like for example, for Dorgu, he's the perfect type of left wing back that we want. Very athletic, has the ability to pass, has the ability to put in a good cross, and he's got good stamina. But his decision making is bad, right? And his that's why his passing seems to be bad. He tries to dribble when he should pass. He tries to pass when he should dribble, and that's a problem. Same thing with Ahmad. Ahmad is really good at pressing from the front, but he's bad with his decision making. And you could argue the same thing about Bruno Fernandes. Really good technically and can make extremely good decisions, but sometimes makes the bad decision. With De Ligt, the problem is, as good as he is in terms of his heading and his physicality, his passing is a little poor, right? And that's the problem. And with Shaw, he's good at passing and he's good at his defensive technique, but he's not strong enough. Like he got bodied by Haaland. So I think we need to realize as a fan base, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Brian, because I think most of the people on this channel that are coming on are very calm and composed. But the larger fan base overall and the people who, say things for clicks, they need to realize that we are so far away from the Man United we used to be that sacking Amorim is not going to solve the problem. That, changing a few players, everybody says, oh, we spent 200 million in the summer. So what? We need another 400 million spent on the squad to compete with Liverpool, to compete with Arsenal.
At least $500 million to get things somewhat sorted out.
Absolutely. And guess who spent $500 million in the summer? It was Liverpool. So they're going further away from us. Yeah. And they're going further and further away from us. Even against Everton, they won 2-1. They've been winning games by 1 and 2 goal margins when their biggest spending of their biggest signing of all time has not even started playing well. He's played 3 games now and scored 0 goals. And you still have this team winning the game, right? Winning games. So I think it's very scary. I think we need to figure out a lot of things that are going wrong. But Brian, I'm gonna have you wait in the waiting room and actually
opinion on something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you your opinion on something? All right. So
Go
I've been taking in a lot of what people say, and a lot of people were complaining about the lineup. What is your take on the lineup? Because some people were saying that it is not progressive and that lineup is not something for the future.
Well, let's be honest. It wasn't some people. It was Mark Goldbridge on the United Stand who was saying that. And I was watching that show as well. Of course, I watch United content as well. And look, my opinion is that, I really actually I respect Mark Goldbridge's opinion a lot, because I think he's not what's it called? He has a lot of patience for managers, and he hasn't called for Amorim to be sacked as well. But when he says that Amorim is picking this team because he knows he's going to get the sack, I think that's complete bullshit. Because I personally think the 3-4-3 system or the 3-4-2-1 system and Bruno Fernandes playing as an 8 in that system are two things that he will never change, right? Unless you go find a better Bruno Fernandes, I don't think Bruno Fernandes moves out of that position.
I was saying this to somebody last year. We struggled so much with progressive passes from the midfield, and he stuck Bruno in the midfield so we can have more progressive passes up the field. He's not good defensively, but he offers us more forward passes in the midfield. So it's give and take.
Exactly. And that's something that nobody wants to see, right? Everybody wants to complain about the downsides of having Bruno in the midfield. And yes, there are downsides, right? I don't think you're saying either that there are no downsides of having him in the midfield. But the problem that people are not willing to acknowledge is that he offers us something that no other players offers us in that position, right? And like I just said before, right, Brian, every single one of the players in our team is offering something good while also having something bad in them, right? So It's like
Yeah.
if we put Mainu in Bruno's position, which everybody wants to do, we lose out on that progressive passing. We lose out on the passes into the
Right.
final third because Bruno has to get on the end of them. He can't be the one initiating them, right? But nobody wants
And
to acknowledge
eventually
that.
he'll drift all the way down into the defense line to pick up the ball, and then he'll not be in position to make the play. So, give or take.
Exactly. So it's a trade-off, like you're saying, and I think you make a very good point. I think the lineup was more than good enough to win this game, even without a red card. But the problem is we tend to lose our focus. And actually I'm gonna do an analysis video today as well. I'm gonna take the footage, go through the match and actually highlight something. But one thing I already knew when I was watching that game is when we scored the first goal, look at our attacking positioning. We had like 6 players in the box, and it was all our midfielders were in there. Our wingback was in there. Our front players were in there. And then Dorgu played that header for Bruno Fernandes. We seem to have no composure in terms of keeping our positioning, right? When we're trying to attack. And that's what leads us open to the defense as well. But anyways, Brian, I'm going to call in a few other people now and get their thoughts. I really appreciate your thoughts again, and thank you so much for joining the call-in show.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Brian, giving us some positives, and I like Brian getting in every single time. Cool. Let's pull in a few people here. I'm gonna get Sai. I'm gonna get Nonstop, and I'm gonna get Rishi onto the channel. All right. We have 3 callers on the channel, guys. We have Nonstop, who's a Chelsea fan. We have Rishi, who's easily our biggest contributor so far on the call-in shows. And we have Sai, who's a first-time caller today. Go on, guys. I want to hear from you guys about what this win means for the rest of the season. Is this a turning point for us? Because that was a big thing that I brought up on the, even the title of the show today is this a turning point? Can we take positives from this and make it actually count against Brentford and the game after that? Or is this just some luck that we've already run out of? Go on.
Rishi, I think we have to
give us your thoughts.
Yeah. Hi. Sorry. I think we have to take this as an isolated game because it was a completely bonkers game. Whatever we've seen today, it's an standalone incident, right? Because so many incredible things happened today. I don't think they're going to ever happen again in this season, at least. Regarding the fact that can we take this as something to build on? Is this a turning point? Andy, you tell me, in the last 5 or 6 years, how many such turning points have we had? We've had bigger victories where the manager's been under more pressure. There have been games, back-to-back games against.
I don't know if we've had a situation where a manager's been under more pressure than this, because you have to realize after every manager that gets into under pressure now also has the debt of the previous managers being under pressure, right? Because United has never had 31 points in 31 games, and we've never been as shit.
We had. No, but I don't agree with you. I feel that Ten Hag was under similar amount of pressure when he won us the FA Cup. That was also an incredible situation. We thought that was a turning point. We gave him a fresh contract because the board thought that, and also most of the fans thought that he should have been given a chance. They kept him on, and we didn't turn the tide. It was just more and more bad results after that. So we keep driving ourselves into this corner of hoping that this is going to be the turning point. This is going to be the turning point. And we have to realize that the very nature of turning points is that we realize it in hindsight. Once everything has turned for the better, we look back at something and say, oh, that was the turning point. It's never that moment where, like, even when they say in Sir Alex's reign, when he won the FA Cup against Palace, I think in 1990, they say that he was about to get sacked, and winning that game is what kept him in the manager's seat. And you can look at that only now, or even after he won the first couple of Premier League titles, you could have said, oh, that was a real turning point because he was this close to getting fired. So only if we go on to do better things and we keep at least, forget forget winning the title, if we are at least where Arsenal are right now, where they're consistently challenging in the next couple of years, then we could look back and say, oh yeah, that crazy game against Chelsea. Remember when Maresca did us a huge favor? Oh, that was
Yeah.
a turning point.
Yeah, Maresca
So in
and
terms
Sanchez
of
together.
turning
But yeah,
points,
Rishi,
yeah.
I want to just summarize what you're saying and give the Chelsea fan here a chance to react. But I think you make some good points about the fact that we can't really tell if it's a turning point till things have actually turned around, right? And after
Because
they've turned around, we
Andy,
look back at this.
you gotta remember that when the game became 10v10, they beat us 1-0.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Nonstop, give us your reaction to what Rishi's saying. I know you're not a United fan. You obviously care more about Chelsea, but give us your thoughts. Do you think this could actually turn things around for United? How positive was this result for us?
Actually, I like actually talking about United because it's like, how should I say? It's like returning a big giant back to where they are. So it's something. It's not that I don't like to speak about United. I do like to speak about United as well.
Yeah, no, good
So,
point. And to be fair, you've been more positive than I have in the last two calls, because you said we thought we were going to lose this game, like Chelsea was going to lose this game, and you also gave us the way we were going to lose it, which is by pressing you guys and make you uncomfortable on the ball, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, sure. But I think one thing you should I think work towards, because okay, today you won, but it was a one-off game because of that red card and whatever Maresca did. So in spite of all that, I remember you talked about the two C's, about confidence and it was
Composure.
confidence and what? You see?
Composure.
Yeah, and composure. So I think up to here you have gained some confidence. Up to here, it is actually a good step. Although it should be looked back in hindsight that this game was a one-off. So I think they shouldn't be overly too confident, both fans and the players. I'm sure the players won't be too confident, but the fans shouldn't be too overconfident after this match because, it was a one-off game. But it was good that there are some things they have worked upon, like as you could see, today the Ligt did a very good game. Actually, I have issues with the Ligt from even the past. He has concentration issues. That's my main issue with the Ligt. But today he did very well, which was I was very surprised. And one more thing is that I need to see more of like one of the centre backs trying to step up, being aggressive and touch tight on the opposing attacker. Like today, Joe Pedro was dropping deep many times, but it took until the second half for one of those centre backs to be aggressive, to start, even though during the past you had the numbers to be touch tight on Joe Pedro, but you were not doing it. So it's something they should work on it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you raised some good points about De Ligt as well, because sometimes, especially on the ball, I think De Ligt has a lot to improve, right? He's already 26 years old, and time will tell whether he actually can, but I think he's technically not very sound, but he does have the heart and the defensive capabilities to make things happen. And obviously he's very strong and tall as well. Okay, Nonstop. Thanks for your thoughts. Anton, or sorry, Sai. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's let Sai have his thoughts on what's been said so far.
Yes, thanks, Andy. Yeah. So yeah, I resonate completely with what Rishi and Nonstop has mentioned. So I was exactly going to say the same thing. The two C's you mentioned, right, regarding confidence and composure. I think this win will definitely help with one of the two C's, that is confidence. It will definitely bring some confidence in our players, but composure, I think it will take a little bit more time. But in terms of this game being a turning point, I'm not so sure about that, but they should take this positive result and move ahead. And let's not forget, right, last 4 games, 3 games have been with really difficult opponents, Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and Chelsea. Yeah, looking forward to some easier games. But we got to keep the same amount of pressure, and the right center back and the left center back need to step up a little bit more often. They need to play in the same frequency, the midfield and the defenders. They need to keep doing the right things while maintaining some composure. Like we can't lose our shit and like lose one player like we did today. Yeah, then this might become a turning point for us, maybe, but only time will tell, like Rishi mentioned.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. It's probably too early to talk about this being a turning point. It's too early for us to get excited, and I appreciate that you guys are bringing my own words back at me because you're spot on. From the two C's, we have improved on confidence, but we haven't improved on composure. In fact, the way we got this game, the way we got confidence from this game was through a lack of composure from Casemiro, from some of the other players as well. So it's a difficult one for us to be excited about. But at the end of the day, with the amount of negatives we've had, from the media, from ex-players, from fans, I think it's hard for me to be negative today, right? So the 3 points are super good to get on. And look, we have Shaunuk here as well, who's in the waiting room. He's been very patient. Let's get him in as well. Shaunuk, you're also live as part of this group. Go on, give us your closing thoughts on whether this is a turning point.
A turning point, I'm not really sure, because I think I agree with it should be looked at as a isolated incident, because the first 45 we played really well, and I don't think we are not going to get a red card for the goalkeeper ever again. But like the season. But yeah, I mean, I think there are some positives. I think in the first half, after the red card, our players they were like, okay, we can chill, we can play with the ball. I think that's the sort of the composure and confidence that we do need. It was like they sort of had the belief that okay, we can create with a man down, obviously, but I think we need to replicate it 11v11. So yeah, I think hopefully it is a turning point with Amorim, because he needs wins. He needs the Brentford game and the Sunderland game, because if he get a draw or a loss in the next two games, I think he's he's on a point per game right now. I think he's like 31 and 31, so he needs that
I think
the
now
next two
he's
games.
34 points from 32. But
Yeah,
if we get 0 points in the next two, we'll be on a point per game again. But it's not
yeah,
really about the point per game thing. It's more that we need to start winning and getting some positivity behind
yeah,
Amorim, and that's the problem, right? And the concern I have is the Grimsby game is very similar to the Liverpool 7-0, right? Ten Hag
yeah.
that season actually finished third in the table, and won the Carabao Cup as well. And the next season was really bad, but you always thought back to that 7-0 defeat as being something that maybe he could never recover from. And the Grimsby game has the opportunity of being the same thing for Amorim. Although it doesn't
Yeah, you
hurt as
can't.
much because it's not against a rival, but I think you make a good point that he needs some wins.
Yeah, you can't really erase like games like 7-0 against Liverpool and Grimsby, the result against Grimsby, and it should have been 3-0 actually in that game. So
Yeah,
you
the
can't
offside
really,
goal. Yeah,
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 you can't really erase those results unless you get you put a decent run in. So yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for your thoughts, Shaunuk. I have one last question for you guys, and I want Nonstop's thoughts on this as well. Rishi, we have 3 games coming up. Or actually, let's talk about the 2 games before the international break. We're playing Brentford away and Sunderland at home. How many points are we getting from those 2 games?
I think we should be getting 6 points because if you see the score right now, Brentford's losing 4-1 to Fulham. They are one of the teams that were tipped for relegation at the beginning of the season because they lost the manager, they lost their best player. In fact, we took their best player. So if anything, I think Mbumo alone should be enough to put us over the line in the Brentford game. Sunderland is a game at home. I think recently promoted team. I know they've been doing decently well, but Old Trafford, I think, has been kind to us this season. We've been getting results here, except for that first Arsenal game, of course. But let's put that down to goalkeeper error. I think these next two games we should be getting 6 points.
Yeah. No, great point. Nonstop. What do you think? How many points are United getting from the next two games? Hello?
You said Brentford?
Yeah, it's Brentford and Sunderland, the next two games.
Okay, I think the Sunderland one you may actually win, but the Brentford, we've already played Brentford before the international. Oh no, after the international break. It was actually last weekend. Yeah, last weekend.
Yeah.
Those guys are actually tougher than actually people think, but it's just that Fulham have this knack of winning games when you just don't expect it. But Brentford are actually really good if you see them how they play. They are very physical. You might have taken the best player, but their overall play style is the same. They have not changed at all. So you should actually be worried about Brentford.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So what do you think? It's going to be 3 points then? We win one of the two?
I think the Sunderland game is winnable. I've seen them before play. It is actually winnable. They have a good system, but some quality they lack in some places. So I think it might be winnable. The Brentford one might be a draw.
Got it. Go on, Shauna. Give us your prediction for the next two games.
Yeah, I think it needs to be. I feel like it would be 4 points from 6, but it should be 6 out of 6 because I think the Brentford game is the challenging one. Because Chelsea played them, it was 2-2. I think I watched that game, and I think again last time I also said this. I thought this would be a 1-1 draw. It was a 2-1. So hopefully, my mind is saying for 4 points out of 6, and I'm hoping for 6 out of 6. So hopefully, it is 6 out of 6. But
I'm gonna give you guys a hot take. I don't know if you're ready for this yet. I think we're gonna beat Brentford and draw at home to Sunderland because we're gonna shock because we're gonna shock everybody and win 2 games in a row in the Premier League, which again, that's shock horror, right? We're gonna win 2 games in a row, and then we're not going to win 3 games in a row at home because why would we do that, right? So I think that's what's gonna happen.
Baby
we're gonna
steps.
Get some positivity.
Baby steps, Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
Baby steps.
I think we're gonna beat Brentford away from home. It could be because Cunha is back, Mount is back, right? Šeško's starting to get better. I think we have what it takes to win that second game in a row, but I think we're gonna drop points against Sunderland. So my call is 4 points. Yeah, go for it.
I do have an interesting question for the people in the call. Casemiro is suspended for the next match. So do you think he's going to play Ugarte or Menu for the next game?
He has to play Ugarte. He has to play Ugarte. He won't play Menu.
I don't think he has played Ugarte, and he played it in the Man City game.
He played it in the City game.
But I think but it was maybe out of that he wanted like legs in that game, but I don't know. I think Menu. I think he'll play Menu against Sunderland. I think. But yeah.
Yeah, I think see the problem that we have. It's a good question, by the way, Shaunuk, and the answer is Ugarte. The problem we have right now is that just when you thought that the team is bad enough for Amorim to be convinced to put Menu back in the team, we have our 2 injured players who have come back. So Cunha came off the bench today and Mount came off the bench today. So I highly doubt Menu's going to be starting games anytime soon because even in the Sunderland game, he might want to play both Mount and Cunha to get them some minutes in. And obviously Mbumo's going to start, Ahmad's going to start, Bruno's going to start. He's not going to play Menu and Bruno. So I think Menu has to wait till probably FA Cup to start games.
So playing Menu and Bruno as a double pivot is overkill.
Yeah.
Like right now, even starting Bruno with Ugarte or Bruno with Casemiro is very is very dangerous. But starting both Bruno and Maino in the pivots, it's just overkill. Better just start with that with one
I
of the
don't
two.
think if he plays Menu and Bruno, I think he's underestimating the Premier League. I think if he does, if he goes Menu and Bruno in like let's say the FA Cup, and I mean we have lost to League Two Grimsby, but if you are playing like some maybe League One opposition, I don't know who we are playing, but maybe he can play Menu and Bruno in that game. But I don't think he should be playing Menu and Bruno in any Premier League game.
Shaunak, we got to remember that we might finish 7th or 8th in the league this season. So the FA Cup might be our best shot of getting into Europe. And Amorim will attack that with his best 11. I don't think there's a chance of Bruno and Manu. Forget Bruno and Manu. I don't think Manu will even start a FA Cup game
I think
because he wants his best team.
The only way Manu gets into this team is if he decides to put Bruno as one of the two 10s. And the fact that he's played Ahmad for a second game in a row as the second 10 means in the 10 spot, you have Mount, Cunha, Mbumo, and Ahmad all ahead of Bruno because he wants Bruno to play in the 8. So for Bruno to move up there, you need all like 3 of these 4 players to be sitting on the bench. And then you can get Manu into the team. I don't think he plays Manu in the 10 either. So I don't think Manu's getting any game time. And for what it's worth, I know this is also a hot take. This is not Main United. It is Man United, right? So let's not focus on shoehorning Manu into this team. He will get his chance when the time is right. He needs to stay hungry as well. But right now, we need to focus on getting the best out of this team. And unfortunately, I don't think Manu does that.
Yep.
Andy, I have a question for you right now, if I may, because you mentioned Ahmad. Sorry, if I may just ask this quick question.
Let's make it super quick because we're already an hour and a half, and I need to go eat some lunch and start making the video as well. But yeah, make it quick. Let's do it.
All right. What do you think of Ahmad in the 10 overall? Because he's not going to move Bruno in the 10. He's played Ahmad in 2 important games in the 10 when his first choice 10 is not available. So what do you make of Ahmad playing there? Do you think he should be played there, or is he better off in the wing back role?
Yeah, I'll give my 2 cents on this. I think Ahmad for Amorim is in the team for his pressing. That is the only attribute he's picking him on right now. And like I spoke about with Brian earlier, the problem with this team is that there's players who are good at a few things and then they're also bad at a few things. And Ahmad, the thing he's good at is the pressing from the front, and he did that very well today. In many different areas, he was winning the ball, putting pressure on the Chelsea backline. But what he's bad at is decision making, finishing. So I think he's picking him for his pressing qualities, and I think he thinks he does the pressing well, whether he's playing from the left 10, the right 10, or the right wing back role. So I actually think, Rishi, getting, let's say, going on a slight tangent from your question, I think Ahmad is probably second or third name on the team sheet right now for Amorim, and most people are not probably seeing it that way.
What do you think long term though, next season?
Well, next, I mean, it's too far ahead for me to think that far ahead. I can't even. When I was asking you guys what you think the result for the 3 games is going to be, I didn't even ask you about the 3 games. I was like, that's after the October international break, so let's just talk about the 2 games. So I really can't think that far ahead. I think he's in trouble because unless he improves defensively a lot or he improves his decision making a lot, I don't think he has a role in the team long term. But let's see what happens. All right. Thanks for your thoughts, guys. Really appreciated the call-in show. We had definitely the most views we've ever had. Thank God we actually won that game, because I would be depressed if I had to do this show and then go spend 4 more hours making the video. So I appreciate you guys for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Andy. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
All right, that's the call-in show done for today, guys. Thank you so much for everybody that watched. You guys really are the best community that's out there. So many calm and composed thoughts on the show that I'm really glad to be part of this community myself. You guys give me some hope for what is coming in the rest of the season, and I hope we can actually make a dent and maybe even finish in the top 6. Right? Let's see what happens. Thank you guys, and video is gonna come later today, and we're gonna start doing this call-in show after games from now on, because I saw a lot of good feedback today. Again,